Yes, my G's, hope you guys are doing well. Today I'm going to show you how to make a really nice and easy riser sound effect in Vital and have a little listen to how it sounds in the context of this build up and drop. Here is the riser down here, and listen to it in the whole mix first, and then I'll break it down the sound design. So you can go back to the previous few videos if you want to learn about how I made the drum beat and how I did the bass line and the other drop transitional tricks I did. Those in the last 3 videos. But today we're just going to focus on solely the creating of this riser. So it's a really nice and easy riser to make, and it's the kind of riser that I would sometimes make in my tracks. I don't always use this kind of pitched up riser. It depends on the vibe of the track, but maybe in half of the tracks I will use a riser, like half of my tunes, maybe a little bit less, I'm not sure. But anyway, this kind of riser is something quite universal that would fit into most songs, you know? And I've called it the flange rise because I ended up using quite a lot of the flanger as a sort of character to the sound, but it's very easy because it's basically just made from one saw wave which pitches up, okay, and one LFO which has some movement on. So firstly I put a bit of an attack at the start so it starts a little bit smoother, and yeah, the release and sustain is roughly around the default settings still, and then we put the main movement in with the LFO1 on the pitch. And you can do different pitched risers, doesn't really matter, but I sometimes find going up a whole octave, 12 semitones, can be a bit too cheesy, a bit too much of a pitch change. So sometimes I'll go up 3 semitones, just for like a sort of minor triad. Sometimes I'll go up 7 semitones, which is like a perfect fifth or a power chord, I believe. Don't quote me on that, I'm not a music theory expert. But I'll often go up 7 semitones for risers. That's also quite nice because you definitely can hear the pitch movement, but it's not so extreme that it goes up a whole octave and gets a bit too cheesy either, right? So yeah, anyway, the saw wave. The next thing I did was to turn on the Unison quite high, all the way to 16 voices, and then we basically just use the percentage of the detuning and modulate that to increase the detuning as it goes up. So it gets faster as it goes to the top of the saw up here, right? And so I start the percentage here at 11% detuning, and then I tweak it to just go up almost all the way to the top. And so you'll have the pitch is going up and the detuning is increasing. So you've already got 2 movements that are contributing to creating tension. Now, next, let's add more tension and with some filter movement, right? So we're actually going to low pass the whole sound around 750 hertz. And we're going to open the filter up, pushing it right to the right around 20. It dulls it quite a lot, but we are using saw waves, which are quite harsh in the high end, so it's quite nice to dampen the sound a bit. Okay, you could have it a little bit brighter if you wanted to, but yeah, for me, that's all about how you're going to blend it into a mix. How, you know, obvious do you want it to be heard? Do you want it to just be in the middle ground giving you this energy? Or do you want it really in your face with lots of high end? That's up to you there, you know? But that's basically how I've adjusted it for this loop. And then I also added in a bit of white noise as well. It starts off very close to 0, and then it goes up around halfway on the level. And it does make quite a difference to the tone of the sound. It is being filtered as well here. But when it gets towards the end, as the white noise level comes up and the filter opens up, you can hear a bit of the white noise coming into the riser as well. So a nice little change there, right? Next, effects. Really important reverb. I've done 50%, so quite a lot. Just made sure to turn the high cut up, so I've got all the high end still in there. Took a little bit of the lows out, just around 400 hertz. Okay, gets a nice tail on as well and gives the whole thing more depth. Next, I've used the compressor in the way that I always use it, which is as a saturation tool. Turning up the attack and down the release gives you a noise injection, and then I'm mixing this in, so it actually also increases the brightness and energy of the riser over time, right? As you can hear the compressor, what it's doing brings out all this high-end energy, you know, so I'm just mixing some of that in. Alright, a few more things left. A little bit of chorusing, just around 15% or so. Just to widen the sound and spread it around a bit more. And then here's where I really went ham on the flanger and used this quite a lot. It ends up going up almost to around 60 or 70% on the mix. And it's got a very fast movement, 1/16. You can see how fast it's spinning down here. And it's also, I'm also flanging the low frequencies and then moving that center point to go higher. So you'll see the flanger will start to move to the right. So the pitch movement is also sort of going up as the flanger comes on as well on the mix. So two things happening. Flanger being turned on and becoming more noticeable, and the position of the flanger also going higher, so that it's almost like an extra pitch boost. Okay, you hear it go, the little pitch increases at the end, you know? And you can see also on the LFO, it's not quite a straight line. I've actually curved it a little bit. So you can see I've curved it down a bit. So it's a nice little shape there. All right, and one more thing then I've put on at the end is or just before the EQ actually I should say, is a delay. And this is really important to give a bit more of a tail to the end of the sound. Around 21%, 32 on each side here. It has a little delayed effect at the end, so nice and natural finish. I turned the feedback up a little bit. If I turn it up a lot more. Yeah, so you can hear what it's doing, but I'm just doing that around 21%. You definitely hear it in there. Finally, equalizer, just balancing the sound out a bit, giving it a touch more of a high-end boost and a bit of a low shelf, low-end drop as well. There it is, and then all you have to do is mix it in the rest of your track. You can EQ out some low-end if there's too much in there, like I've done here. Turn it down a little bit in the mix. So it fits in quite smoothly with my composition there. And yeah, if you need your riser to fit your composition well, you can do different things to it to change it. You could have a different oscillator, for example, try a square wave maybe. You could have different amounts of filter brightness, change the character perhaps with an extra filter, give it a little phaser filter movement or something like that. Yeah, maybe use less of the flanger. Different kind of things you can tweak, but that's just one classic riser sound that's quite easy to make and sounds great as a universal kind of riser sound, you know? All right, that's it from me today. Hope you enjoyed and learned a little bit from that one, Maya G's. May I remind you as well, if you guys ever want production lessons with me, links for that are down below. It's the best way that you'll level up your sound at speed. Also links down below that you'll find for my Discord, which is where you can get access to my daily chat community, get feedback on your tracks and join our feedback live streams. Really great way to improve your sound as well. Thirdly, if you want vital presets, I've got loads on my website, really high quality ones. Phase plant and current packs are also on there. If you guys want any mastering work done, email me at info@artifactmusic.com. You'll get a much greater sound with me than you will with an AI software. That's guaranteed. And if you want me to DJ in a town near you, you can also email me to arrange that. All right, that's enough from me today. Subscribe and like as well. I really appreciate it. More from me very soon. Much love.